Hi, my name is Munana, aka Aliviu. The people who call me Aliviu are the ones that I grew up with in Rundu. This is family, friends, neighbors, people in the neighborhood, people who went to New Orleans. They know me as Aliviu basically. It's only the Windhoek people and the entertainment industry, the fashion industry that call me Luis or Luis Munana. But yeah, those who know me, Aliviu.
What we lack can be made up with desire, hustle, and giving it 110% all the time. You think you know what we're about because you've seen us on TV, living lavishly in videos, and posting our lives on social media as well as winning awards?
Are you guys ready to see OT?
So, born and raised Rundu, Kavango East. I'm from the Munana family. I am the last born of 6 children, 3 boys, 3 girls. So that explains a lot. That's last born tendencies. That comes out a lot. So yeah. My earliest memories as a child is being surrounded by lots of love. Like I mentioned, I grew up with my siblings. I grew up in a home where we had pets, we had a garden, we had neighbors. You know, it was during the era of going to the neighbor's house to watch Penduka, going to watch holiday specials and stuff at the neighbor's house when we didn't have a TV. So my childhood memories are very fond. They are very bright, they are very light because I was surrounded by love basically. So I can't point out to one specific memory because there are so many, and I just remember having a very bright childhood basically. Yeah. My parents are very loving. They are the type of parents that took in my cousins, that raised their siblings' kids as well, that would take care of grandparents. They were very active in the community. They are also very religious. I am a PK, if you can say that. I was born and raised in a very Christian home. We had Bible study. We went to the meetings every week, you know, so it was very religious. So my parents come from that background where they are the religious pillars of the community and so forth. So family means everything to me. I take family very seriously because, like I said, my childhood was surrounded by family. This is now blood relatives, but now growing up I realized that family isn't just blood, it's also friends that become your family. So it's taking care of each other, it's loving each other, it's looking out for one another, it's having your back, you know, just people that always have your back. I consider those as family. My definition of happiness is being in a space where you are free to do what your heart desires, you know, where you are free to live your truth and just be you. So to me that brings joy, that brings happiness. So I would define that as happiness, living your truth and being real to yourself. If I had to go anywhere in the world and meet a celebrity, I would definitely meet Will Smith. I mean, Will Smith is real, he's a good actor, he's funny, he's inspirational. He's the type of person that I aspire to become because he doesn't see limits, he doesn't see boundaries. He's all about breaking that glass ceiling, you know, so Will Smith. But I know I'm going to work with him one day. I'm putting it out in the universe. Now it's on camera, so Will Smith, Vision 2025. The funniest thing that has ever happened to me was while I was in Big Brother Africa in 2014. I didn't want to be there anymore, so I tried to jump the wall and the whole continent saw it, and I ended up becoming the laughing stock for a whole week until I got evicted. So to me that was pretty funny. I don't know what was going on in my mind, but once I came out and saw the clips and saw the comments, I was like, what were you doing, dude? What is up with you wanting to jump a whole wall? Where were you gonna go? Who were you gonna see? What were you gonna say?
I have soft padded paws and a long brown mane. I'm a great giant lion in a circus cage. I roar, roar, and roar.
Waka Waka Moo. So basically it came about while I was babysitting my nieces and my nephews. So they were watching Netflix. They were watching Peppa the Pig, they were watching Princess Sophia and all of this, and they knew all the songs, they knew all the lyrics, they knew word for word of everything they were watching. So I was like, I told my sister after I was done babysitting, I was like, why don't we have any local content in Namibia that talks about the kings, the chiefs, the queens in Namibia, talking about the rivers, the desert, but in animated form that speaks to children. Then she said, well, you can do it. I was like, I don't know anything about animation, that's not my field. Then she's like, but you've done stuff before that nobody has, so what is different about this? So I did my research, I did lots of begging, lots of asking, got partners, got collaborators, and the rest is history. The name itself came about the first week in Big Brother Africa. Our task was to come up with a pantomime for kids, which is a short theatrical play, and our head of house had taken all the strong candidates, that's your South African housemates, your Nigerian housemates, you put them in one group. Then I was stuck in a group with non-voters, basically the countries that don't have majority of the voting population. So we thought we were going to lose. And it was my task to write a script. So I wrote the script and we won. Surprisingly, the underdog became on top, and our group was called Waka Waka. So I also told myself, one day when I do something for kids, I'm going to call it Waka Waka. So the experience with my sister, the experience from Big Brother, Waka Waka Mu came about. So yeah.
I'm a model by profession. I modeled around Africa and I'm like top model in Namibia. So, but yeah.
That's right? Yes, by the way, he's an international model. He has graced Paris Fashion Week, right? How does it feel coming to Uganda on a style fashion award show?
Well, it's one of the few style award shows that I've heard of in Africa. I've only heard of another one, but that's very South African.
My journey as a model was accidental. It wasn't intentional. It happened by accident because I went to South Africa in Cape Town to study basically. And as a student, I was an accounting student. I have a whole accounting qualification, so you else must not play with me. So as I was studying, I couldn't afford some of the basics, like afford the textbooks that I needed. I couldn't afford to pay for my rent anymore. Because the financial assistance I had wasn't quite sufficient to cover all my costs. And in Cape Town, there's a period called season. So season is when your clients from abroad, clients from South Africa all come to Cape Town to sort of scout for new faces, to shoot for print, commercials, stills and so forth. So I was walking down the street on my way to work from school and I was scouted. Someone said, you have the look, you have the potential, you can work. The first year I said no, I'm like, that's not for me, I'm here for school. Like I mentioned, I come up from a very religious background, so modeling to me wasn't part of the books. It wasn't something I was aspiring to do. But due to my lack of having finances and so forth, I said, okay, why not? That was the second year when I was asked again, come be a model. I said yes, because I was like, you know what, money is tight, this is an extra way of earning income. So I said yes, and then after that it's trips, it's campaigns, it's TV commercials, it's traveling across Africa, going to London Fashion Week and so forth. So yeah, I've had quite an exciting career. I mean, I've done campaigns which have aired all over the world. I've been on billboards, I've been on TV commercials, which was seen by people across the continent. My face has been out there. So I felt that it was time to come to Namibia and try to grow the fashion industry here, because every time I would go to Fashion Week outside of Namibia, people will ask me, what is a Fashion Week? What is happening outside? Like, why do you always go to work outside? I'm like, there's no industry in Namibia. Again, it came back to, why don't you do something about it? Instead of complaining and saying, why isn't this thing happening in your country? You can sort of also be a pioneer and just try to enact change.
Lost in a lonely haze, getting it good ain't easy. Hold on to what you got.
And from there, Fashion Council was founded, Fashion Week was founded, and I sort of put a hold on being active in my modeling career, because my agency is based in South Africa, Cape Town, and you have to attend castings, you have to go to auditions, they have to see your face, they have to see you, like the client wants to interact with you and so forth. So yeah, it sort of died down a little bit because I wasn't there. I could only get bookings. I would go maybe once in a year or twice in a year to do jobs there via direct bookings, and then the jobs I would do here in Windhoek weren't offering me my rate, which was what I believed I was worth because I've done so much stuff. So I said, no, I'm not going to take anything that's not paying me according to my rate. So it sort of just became like this, you know. So right now I'm just pushing the fashion industry in Namibia. So I wouldn't say that I'm modeling actively per se, but I'm trying to push the industry in a direction I feel it needs to be in order to classify itself as the fashion industry. So Voigush was a brand founded by Twilika Nafuka. So Twilika sort of came up with this idea to have a fashion, entertainment, lifestyle magazine while we were still in high school at academia. So her idea was to have a magazine that's speaking to the entertainment industry, fashion industry, music industry in Namibia. So once we finished high school, after grade 12, she had to go and study in Algeria. She wanted to study to become a doctor. So she said, I'm leaving. I'm like, dude, you can't leave. You're trying to start something here, you know. So she's like, okay, why don't you sort of partner up with me, and then we are going to run this thing together. While I'm there, you're here, and then we can become partners. So we became partners. We became partners. We worked together, and I became a co-founder for Voigush in that sense, because the magazine concept evolved into a TV show basically, because print at the time was sort of expensive. So we transitioned the magazine into a TV show, and our aim was to be African, not just to be in Namibia, because we wanted our local talent to be exported outside of Namibia and not just stay within Namibia. That's why we called it Voigush Africa. And from there, we went to the MTV Base Awards. We've covered fashion events in Nigeria. We've covered events in East Africa. We've done the BET stuff. We've interviewed celebrities from across Africa. So that was the journey of Voigush basically, you know, just to be that lifestyle, entertainment, fashion brand. And that was the vision for it. Yeah, but for the past year, it has sort of been very quiet because I was heavily involved with Waka Waka Mu and the other projects just to push those to come to life. But yeah, definitely, it's still something that's dear to our hearts, and it's something that will be revived eventually. So watch this space. If I had the opportunity to be a president of Namibia, how long is this? Is this 1 term, 2 terms? Is it for 1 day? Is it 2 days? But anyways, if I had the opportunity to be the president of Namibia, I would push on other sectors as well, and not just focus on one sector. Like, for example, the arts industry is something that is being overlooked, and I speak this from an artist's perspective because there's so much potential, there's so much talent, but nobody is investing in that sector because we are so fixated on minerals, tourism and all of that. Yes, those do generate income, but let's push other departments. Not everybody can be a doctor, not everybody can work in minerals and tourism and so forth. So I'd push other departments so that we have a scale of diversity and variety to say that we are contributing to our economy at large within the arts sector, the entertainment sector, the fashion industry, the tourism, the mining sector and so forth, just so we have a platform for everyone, you know, so that everybody feels like they are contributing towards the country's success. So that's what I would do. I would look into other sectors and see how we can uplift the sectors as equally as we uplift our mining and tourism and all of those other sectors. Anybody that looks up to me, giving you advice from me, I would say it's not easy. Just make sure you have a tribe. By that I mean you have your 4 or 5 friends, or 2 or 3, if that's the case, who are going to have your back irregardless, no matter what. My tribe has been there for me since day one. When I decided that sitting in an office doing my accounting stuff is not for me, I told my parents, listen, I'm not going to work anymore. Take the qualification and hang it up in the wall in the living room. I'm going to pursue my art. I needed to have a tribe. I needed to have people that were there for me psychologically, that were there for me financially. I needed to have friends whose couch I could sleep on, you know. So have a tribe. Your tribe will ensure your success. Your tribe will ensure you are well off financially, just for your basics. You know, they will ensure you have food, you have taxi money for your meetings and so forth. So my advice would be, get you a tribe, find your loyal friends, find your people that are gonna be there for you, irregardless of what happens. So yeah, get your tribe. My favorite place to visit in Namibia, of course, it has to be Rundu, especially in December. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. The beach is popping, it's raining, it's the weather, you know, it's amazing. It's hot, it's raining, the beach is there, you can go swim, you eat lots of fish, there's mahangu. So yeah, Rundu would be it. It's beautiful out there, like especially if you drive down towards the Pupa Falls. Guys, it's breathtaking. The animals, the nature, the scenery, the greenery, the people, it's always smiling, the culture, it's so rich. So I'd say Rundu. The one thing I love about Namibian people is we are peaceful. You can say whatever you want, but Namibians at large are peaceful people. We talk a lot on social media, we insult each other, but when it comes to actual violence, we are not that violent. You know, the statistics for the violence that occur, I can say every country has violence, even if it's gender-based violence or whatever the case may be, but the Namibian person at large, your average Namibian is non-violent, is a peaceful person, just wants the progression of their country. So that's one thing that I love about our people, is we are peaceful, we want peace, we don't want violence, we just want good vibes. We just like, dude, I'm just trying to be happy, that's all I'm trying to be. So that's one thing I love about us. So yeah.